Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the new film starring Brad Pitt, Bullet Train. So, let's get into it. Unfortunately, at least once a year, there is always one film that I'm very excited about, but it just lets me down big time. In 2020, that was Tenet. It ended up being a very messy film, and it just hurt to watch because I was just so excited for it. In 2021, it was In the Heights, a musical that turned out to be just way too overlong and a lot more dull compared to what I thought it was going to be.
Boring.
Now, in 2022, I'm afraid to say that it will most likely be Bullet Train. Now, I wasn't expecting this film to win any Oscars or anything, but I was hoping that Bullet Train would be a fun roller coaster ride action film. I think, to be positive, it does live up to that at times. But before going into all of the negatives with this film, I just want to give this film a fair evaluation here. I think what made me a lot more excited about this compared to most action films releasing this year was just the fact that Brad Pitt was in this. In my opinion, Brad Pitt is straight up one of the best actors of all time. He has delivered time and time again, and now as it seems like he is nearing the end of his acting career, he just wants to take on some more fun roles that just make people laugh. He taps into that again here in Bullet Train, and he is straight up the standout of this film in my opinion. He is almost giving a purely comedic performance, and I laughed at the majority of the jokes. You can tell he had a lot of fun making this movie, and it translates really well on camera.
Grazie.
The action scenes were generally really well shot and quite unique at times. Having the setting of this film in a bullet train is a great idea as the action feels confined and restricted, adding to the tension and the comedy of these fights. I also love the duo of Brian Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson. They have a lot of chemistry together in these scenes and they play off each other quite nicely. All the Thomas the Tank Engine references were really funny and benefited the film a lot in my opinion. These characters alongside Brad Pitt's Ladybug have the most fulfilling arcs, which can be both funny and sad.
I don't know what to think.
Now, to the negative. I think this film is really messy. It doesn't have a singular focus, and for me, it just made me stop caring altogether. There are just way too many characters in this that all need a satisfying arc, and by the time it gets to the third act, it's still trying to do this and it feels very tacked on and boring. I honestly had a hard time getting through this. The final half an hour of this movie, I just couldn't really care anymore. This type of film should have been locked in at a tight 90 minutes and we would have gotten a really fun action film that is just pure entertainment. Instead, we get plotline after plotline, and for this I blame both the screenplay and direction from David Leitch. The cast seem like they are doing all they can to make this a really enjoyable experience, and at times they do succeed, but they are just weighed down from some very indulgent writing and directing. Every little thing in this has a backstory, and that is okay for the main trio of characters. It's just annoying for everyone else, especially some characters who are in it for about 5 minutes. I mean, there are flashbacks later in this movie that go back to something that would happen half an hour before, and it's almost as if David Leitch doesn't trust the intelligence of the audience to put some of the pieces together.
You're so smart. You're so effing smart.
I thought everything to do with Joey King's character could have been cut out of this film and it would have made it a whole lot better. While she does give a great performance, the arc for her character just seems so pointless and tacked on that I was just not very interested in any moment she was in later in the film. Overall, I'm so sad to say that I can't really recommend Bullet Train to you unless you just want a really long and by the numbers action film. There is definitely a lot of good in this, and I think that's what makes this feel so disappointing. As a fan of Brad Pitt, I'm very happy to see him take roles like this. I just wished it was surrounded by a movie that was a whole lot more enjoyable. I'm going to give Bullet Train a 2.5 out of 5, and I think while it is a step up from David Leitch's previous film Hobbs and Shaw, it is nowhere near the quality of something like Deadpool 2. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Please tell me, what are your thoughts towards Bullet Train? Let me know in the comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.